You and I have a lot of things we're going to have to face together.
You know, I think whoever put that gun in Sophia's purse, and that purse must be obsessed. I mean, to risk coming into the house like that.
He was just trying to scare her, wasn't he? There was no real danger.
I don't know. I don't like to think what this person might be capable of.
You think it's Wolf's accomplice, don't you? That woman.
You know it was a woman?
It was probably a woman. Whoever was in the gun shop was female.
Unless it was a man trying to throw you off.
That's a possibility. Someone could have been hired just to do that, I suppose. But there's other evidence makes me think a woman was involved. The size of the skylight at the museum would only have accommodated a relatively small body. The perfume and clothing we found, the size and depth of a footprint that was found at another site.
So, Wolf was obsessed with Eden, the accomplice, obsessed with Sophia. Well, the whole damn thing doesn't make any sense at all.
We're doing whatever we can to find out who bought that gun back, Mr. C. That's about the best thing we have to go on right now.
Whoever it is has certainly managed in the last month to dredge up my worst memories.
Yeah, I know. Clearly there is some connection to you.
Do you think maybe some sort of perverted revenge for the past?
Perverted revenge? Don't talk nonsense.
Why is that nonsense? Sophia's past is hardly blameless. The only thing wrong with my theory is the only people she really hurt were her own family.
Stop it! Just stop it. Just drop, please.
Eden. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Mason. I'm just a little sensitive these days.
Mason, if you continue to put your foot in it, maybe it's best for all of us that you just get out of the house.
Daddy, please. It's not Mason's fault. All the memories keep coming back to me, and I feel things very strongly.
Do you want to lie down for a while?
No. I want to remember. I think it's important. You know, Cruz told me that you'd said to him that you were so angry that day that you were going to kill Lionel. And that 15 years later, that anger still drove you, and that you did want to kill him.
Hey, please, honey, don't do.
She can say anything she wants to me. Anything.
You didn't kill Lionel, Mama. You killed Channing. You killed your own son. 15 years later, and the pain drove you, and the anger drove you, and that's what I feel is going on with me. I have all this pain and this anger, and it won't go away, and I don't know why. No, I'm all right. I have to feel these things. I want to feel these things. I'm sorry, Mama.
You sure you don't want to do this another time?
Mason, I need you. I've always needed you. And I want you to help me remember the day that Mama disappeared.
Day of infamy.
How the hell can he help anyone?
Daddy, this is Mason. This is his way. You're too hard on him.
I can defend myself, Eden.
I don't see how he can help you at all. He blames Sophia for everything. He doesn't have memories. He uses the past as ammunition.
I love him. He makes me feel better.
Cece, we have to let her do it her way. Any way she wants, all right?
Mason, do you remember the day that Mama went away?
I guess. Memory's a tricky business. And Dad is right. Maybe mine is a revisionist history. We all have our subjective perspectives, don't we?
Why don't you tell me what you remember, and I'll consider the source.
Well, I'll try. I remember that day because that was the day I was going to take you and Ted and Channing and Kelly to my friend Willie Chadwick's ranch. You didn't end up going. I've forgotten why I had something else to do. I don't recall what it was. It disappointed me. It was a good day. Kelly was in heaven. She spent the whole day with the horses. I missed you because you were the one who kept everybody in line. And Channing, He was a brat the whole day. And, as is my wont, I just made matters worse. When we got home, Dad took me aside. I'd never heard your voice like that before. You just said my name, and right away I knew something terrible had happened. He told me he didn't want to scare anybody, but that Sophia was missing. I felt so proud being singled out like that. He trusted me, first and last time. And I remember you, after he told you and Ted and Kelly, Channing. And I kept thinking how strong you were. You just kept going, taking care of everybody and everything as if nothing had happened.
In her journals, Eden wrote about what it did to you, Mason. And what it did to Channing and Ted and Kelly, but she never wrote about how she felt about it.
I should have known something was wrong. Maybe I just wasn't old enough. Maybe I just wasn't smart enough.
It wasn't your fault, Mason. You didn't know. I didn't know.
Another remarkable thing about the journals is that except for the briefest period after Sophia's disappearance, Eden did not mention Sophia's name again for 15 years.
I don't remember that day. When Mason talks about it, it's like a story, not a part of my past.
But do you think you went back out to the boat?
I don't know.
We would have seen
Let
you.
me hear this.
You didn't see her the night before.
It was dark.
I
That
am
night
going
in
to
the
remember what
daylight,
happened
we
that
would have seen
day.
her.
Well, if you're
You
fighting,
can't
might have
stop
seen
me.
it.
No matter.
I won't let you remember. I'm
She
the one
might
who
end up
knows
coming aboard.
everything. You can't handle the truth. Stop doing this to me. All I'm doing is protecting you. That's why I came that day. To protect you.
Darling, what is it? What's wrong?
I don't know. It's like I can't quite hear.
You gotta remember, you're not alone.
You can say that again.
We're here. All of us. We love you. You're surrounded by people who love you. You know, if you're having a hard time remembering this...
I will remember.
Maybe we should knock off for a while.
No.
No, there's probably a good reason this is not coming back to you. I think it would be wise to be careful.
I remember everything that happened. There are no surprises, right?
Well, you remember it intellectually, but you haven't experienced it emotionally, and that may be a big surprise.
Well, I have to get past whatever it is that's keeping me from experiencing it, don't I?
Then what about after she disappeared? Do you remember anything then?
I remember Daddy standing in my doorway of my room. You were going to tuck me in, but you never did that. I always kissed you at the bottom of the stairs, and then I was allowed to read for 15 minutes, and Mama would come in and turn off my light and tuck me in. But you were standing there in my doorway, and you crossed across the room, and you sat on the side of my bed, and you took my book away, and you said that you were going to turn off my light and tuck me in, because Mama couldn't do it that night.
And you said,
Sophia's not coming back, is she? Daddy? How did I know that? How did I know you weren't coming home?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I know.
look, sweetheart, maybe there is a simple explanation. Maybe You heard me talking with the police. They came to the house after I reported the disappearance.
If it were that easy, I think she'd remember.
Fine, Mason. Since you have all the answers...
I don't have...
Why did you let her suffer so much from...
Daddy, just stop it. Get off his back. How do you expect him to talk to you? Either one of you. Mason is in this room because he wants to help me. If you don't know that he loves me, I do. We understand each other. I mean, I may have had a mother who slept with my father's worst enemy, but Mason's mother was carted off when he was a boy. Remember that, Daddy? He had every right to despise and sneer at every single one of us, but he didn't. He took care of us. He took care of me. And you don't like his attitude. How dare he be upset that you treated Rosa and Ruben so shabbily. You ran around this mansion having a great old time while you had hot and cold running servants. How dare he be upset that you took away Rosa and Ruben's land. Well, I'll tell you something. I've been calm my whole damn life. But I've sat back and I've watched the way you treated Mason. You have punished him because he didn't act or do or say or please you the way I did. And we're supposed to think you're such a great guy because we've seen you forgive Mama all her transgressions. Hell, look at the kind of life you've led. It's like the pot and the kettle. I mean, don't you think that, Daddy? For God's sake, I didn't even raise my voice. I didn't even take notice. I didn't do anything. But I am doing it now. I'm doing it now, Daddy. Whatever you do.
Not bad first time out.
I got so angry, Mason.
I keep telling you, it's the only rational response.
I'm scared. And I don't know why.
Sure you are. Don't push it. Make it easy on yourself. Eden, for you, getting angry is like stepping off the edge of the world.
You understand this, don't you?
I know what it's like to be his child and to grow up in this house, that's all.
That's a lot.
Thing is, watching you take them on just now, I know how rough it was. But you reminded me of when you were a little girl, 4 or 5. You used to get so angry. Not because somebody took your doll or stuck his tongue out at you. You'd get angry at injustice and betrayal. You just would not have it.
Let me look at them, what I've done.
They're stronger than you think.
Mama has really been trying to help me lately.
Why do you always worry about what's fair to her? What about what's fair to you?
Mason, I love you.
Ditto, kiddo.
I really think you should go. Because, it really makes things difficult when you're around. I mean, you've helped me, but I think sometimes that you haven't really been fair to Mom and Daddy either. And, I think you should go.
Okay. Take care of yourself.
Mason. I wish I would have went to the ranch with you that day.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take off now, Dad. I'll touch base with you on that little matter of depriving Rosa of her birthright, huh?
I'm sorry. Daddy, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be.
Don't be, sweetheart. You were overwrought. We understand that.
Daddy, when I came back from the yacht that day, when I was a little girl, didn't you think it was strange that I was just emotionless?
It was shell shock, honey. We all felt it.
No. It was something else. I had twisted myself into something else so that I didn't have to feel or be anything. How come I didn't show anybody any anger or any fear?
You couldn't. Who could you turn to? You couldn't turn to your father because you would have to tell him about me.
I also have my theories, Mom. If you didn't love Daddy enough to stay around, then you must not have loved me.
Oh, no, baby.
I mean, I know that wasn't it, but what stopped me from screaming and hating you and telling everyone what you did?
Yes, what was that? Why didn't you tell everyone? What is it that stopped you?
What stopped me? I'm not sure. I remember feeling that I had to be strong for the rest of the family. That all of a sudden I woke up and I was the woman of the house at 8 years old. I had to be there for you, Daddy. And Ted and Kelly and Channing. And Channing, he was so angry he would lash out at you and I didn't understand why, but if anybody should have understood, it should have been me. I mean, he knew the truth. He knew the man who was raising him wasn't his father.
Yeah, but what about you? You always end up talking about Channing and Mason. What about you? How did you feel?
I felt... No! Those feelings are mine! What did you say?
What about you?
No, you weren't there. That was me. I took all that so you didn't have to. Thanks to me, you grew up strong and safe. You could get married and have children because of me.
I don't remember.
I won't let you.
I remember in my dreams, sometimes I have a dream about being on the yacht. But then I wake up and it was just a dream.
That's right. It's just a dream.
Not really a dream. I mean, I was on the boat and I was very angry. I was very angry.
And you still are, aren't you? I mean, you don't show it. You've built some kind of wall around it, but it's there. It's running you, isn't it?
Don't answer him. Don't talk to him about it. There are things on the other side of the wall, things that could destroy both of us.
I have to go wash my face.
Darling?
Should you go with her?
No, I think I should leave her alone for a minute. I think we all should.
I am scared. I am so scared for her.
This anger in her has got to come out, Mr. C.
She's going through something terrible.
She's already gone through something terrible.
Oh, God, what are we going to do? Cruz, we can't let her out of our sight.